All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to explore a really radical idea, one that connects the deepest parts of our minds, our memory, our consciousness, to the actual fundamental geometry of the universe itself. Seriously, get ready to question everything you thought you knew about your own mind.
So this all boils down to one central, kind of mind-blowing question. It just throws out everything we normally think about where our experiences go. What if our memories aren't really locked away inside our skulls, but are literally written into the fabric of space-time?
For the longest time, right? The classic view has been that our memory is like a biological filing cabinet. You learn something, some chemicals fire, the connections between your neurons get stronger, and boom, the info is stored right there. But this new view, it suggests something way more elegant. That memory isn't so much a thing as it is an echo, a trace left behind, not in our cells, but in the geometry of reality itself.
So how is any of this even possible? Well, to get our heads around it, we've got to shift gears from biology to the super strange, super fascinating world of quantum physics. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, so here's the key concept we really need to wrap our heads around. It's called the Berry phase. In the quantum world, when something goes on a journey and comes back, it can literally carry a memory of the path it took. Now, the wild part is, this memory isn't about how long the journey was, but about the shape of the journey. The geometry of the trip leaves a permanent mark, totally separate from time.
And you know what? This slide has the perfect analogy to make it all click. Just picture a boat crossing a lake. The boat docks, it's gone, but long after, its wake, that V-shaped pattern on the water, is still there. That wake is a geometric trace of the boat's path. The Berry phase is basically the universe's version of that wake, a fundamental memory of a journey that was taken.
So here's the crucial point, the big takeaway from all that. Under this theory, our memories are not stored like data bits in our neurons. Instead, every single thing we experience, every thought, every feeling, creates a unique quantum journey inside our brain. And it leaves behind a unique geometric result, a Berry phase, as a permanent record.
Okay, so if memory has a geometric trace, what language is it even written in? Well, that question takes us to a way bigger idea about reality itself. And this is where the idea gets, well, it gets huge. It proposes that our entire universe behaves like one single massive atom. And just like any complex system, it's got an operating language, a fundamental blueprint. That blueprint, according to the theory, is written in a really beautiful kind of math called Clifford algebra.
And this slide breaks it down perfectly. Just think of Clifford algebra as the universe's source code. It's the language that describes all geometry. It's the blueprint that defines all the physical forces. And yeah, it's pretty much the operating system that runs reality. And our brains, they're just a part of this whole system.
Now, this is all fascinating cosmic theory, but so what? How does it actually connect to you and me, to our biology? Well, the link is found in two absolutely incredible processes happening in our bodies right now: neuroplasticity and epigenetics. So we've known for a while that our brains aren't set in stone, right? When we learn a new skill or practice a new habit, our brain physically changes. But this theory gives us a much deeper answer for how that change is actually directed.
I mean, just look at this chain of events. It all starts with an experience, a stimulus. That kicks off a quantum process, creating a unique geometric path and its own Berry phase, its own echo. And that echo, it's not just a passive memory. It's an instruction manual. It's literally the code that tells your neurons to form new connections, making your brain's physical structure a direct reflection of your life.
Okay, the second link here is even more profound. Epigenetics is the science of how our environment and our behaviors, our diet, our stress, even our thoughts, can actually change how our genes work, leaving a real mark on our genetic expression.
Yeah, this hardware-software analogy is just perfect. Your DNA, that's the hardware. It's mostly fixed. But epigenetics is the software, telling that hardware which programs to run. And get this, according to this theory, the Berry phase created by your life experiences is what writes that software. It creates the geometric imprints that tell your genes whether to switch on or off.
So if our brain is this responsive geometric system, can we intentionally tune it? Can we consciously create experiences that generate good geometric echoes? The research is basically screaming yes.
And forget the idea of meditation as just, sitting quietly. In this context, it's an active technology.
It's a way to intentionally guide your brain's quantum state through these organized, coherent paths, and in doing so, generate stable, beneficial geometric phases that literally reshape your mind's internal landscape.
And the data backs this up. I mean, the recent research is just stunning. Meditators show a thicker prefrontal cortex for better decisions and a smaller amygdala, which means less stress. On a genetic level, it activates over 220 genes tied to the immune system, and it can bring the brain into this state called criticality, which is like a perfect balance point for maximum efficiency. These are real physical changes.
But it's not just internal stuff. We're now discovering we can use external things to tune the brain too. And one of the most exciting is a specific sound frequency, 40 Hz. This isn't just a random number. It matches the frequency of gamma brainwaves, which are linked to really high-level thinking.
And this is where it gets absolutely incredible. Look at these results from MIT. When people were exposed to 40 Hz light and sound, their brainwaves literally synced up to that rhythm, and that in turn activated the brain's cleanup crew, these cells called microglia. Amazingly, these cells then started clearing out the toxic junk that causes Alzheimer's. It's like using a specific frequency to reboot the brain's own healing system.
Wow. So where does all of this leave us? We've gone from quantum physics all the way to brain science. What's the ultimate takeaway here?
Maybe it's this. This perspective completely reframes what it even means to be human. We aren't just complex biological machines that process data. No, we are active participants in the cosmos, gathering experiences that leave permanent geometric imprints on the universe. Our lives, our memories, they aren't just fleeting moments. They're collected and stored in the very fabric of reality.
And that leaves us with one final, really big thought. If every single experience you have, every lesson you learn, and every connection you make leaves a permanent trace, an echo in space-time, what story are you writing into the universe?